Hello, I'm John Smith. Welcome to the Psalming Effect. And this is a Monday morning, and I'm, as I usually do, going to share a devotional from the book of Psalms that I hope will bless you today, but will be a blessing to you all throughout the week. Recently, I've been in Psalm 105, and I'm still there, and I'm actually going to share something from the first 5 verses. Because in Canada here we are celebrating Thanksgiving, and that's a national holiday, and it's a cultural development in our country. We choose the harvest time of the year to celebrate Thanksgiving. It's really a harvest celebration, and there's variations of that all over the world. It's not a prescribed observance by the scriptures, and so this is not an attempt to give you some form of celebrating Thanksgiving, except that Thanksgiving is something that the scriptures do talk about as being a part of our lives. We need to continually give thanks to God, and so while we're focused on Thanksgiving Day in Canada, I thought I would this week share something from this psalm that has to do with Thanksgiving. The first 5 verses of Psalm 105 talk about giving thanks to God. So let's just notice what that says. "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the peoples, sing to him, sing praises to him, tell of all his wondrous works. Glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. Seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his presence continually. Remember the wondrous works that he has done, his miracles and the judgments he uttered." Do you ever wonder how to appropriately express thanks to God? You know, we learn to say thank you to one another. We teach our kids, to say thank you and you're welcome and, good manners and all of that. How do you say thank you to God? I mean, we can say it in prayer with words like we do another human being when we're saying thank you to them, but it doesn't seem like enough. And especially because of all that God has done for us, how do we actually ever appropriately thank him? People, we can thank them by paying them back, by watching for things that they do that we can thank them for, and sort of return that Thanksgiving favor. But how do you really say thanks to God? We can never repay him. And as I said, words just don't seem to be enough. But I think this passage actually gives us some concrete ideas as to how we can express and give thanks and show gratitude to God for what he's done. The first verse talks about making known his deeds among the people. So we can tell others about God. We can say thank you to God, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I think what he would really like us to do beyond that is to tell others about him and his goodness, to share God with other people. That's an appropriate way of really showing your thankfulness to God, is sharing him, sharing what you know of him with others. The second verse talks about singing praises to him. And of course, singing is a part of worship, has been a part of worship, both in the Old and New Testaments. You may not consider yourself a singer, and that's okay. God isn't judging us by the quality of our singing. He's receiving us according to what's in our heart. And so if you have a song, if you know a song that expresses well your thankfulness to God, or just a song of praise to his name, lift it up. Sing praises to his name. If it means going in the shower and turning on the water and closing the door so nobody else can hear, then that's fine. But God will hear, and He will hear. He will hear what's in your heart, and so sing praises to His name. He loves that. He accepts that as thanksgiving. That's a great way to express thanks to Him. Verse 3, similar to that, says to rejoice, to glory in His holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. And so celebration, rejoicing, is a way of thanking God. You know, God blesses us and gives us things so that we would be filled with joy, so that our lives would be blessed. And so when we celebrate in that, when we exult in it, and we glorify God in it, that's an expression of thanksgiving. That's what God is shooting for, is that we would be filled with joy. So just express joy in the name of the Lord and glorify His name. Verse 4 says to seek the Lord and His strength, to seek His presence continually. So another way of thanking God is just to seek even more of Him in your life. You know, if you're already thankful about your relationship with Him and what He's done, and you want to express thanksgiving for that, the greatest thing probably that He would tell you to do is, well, just let more of Him in. Even more than you've experienced. Seek His strength and His presence in your life, in all that you do. And so whether that's through spending some time in prayer, or spending some time in the Scriptures, or spending some time going and doing service in His name, gathering together with others for worship, or for mutual encouragement, spiritual encouragement, whatever it is, but doing it in the strength, seeking God's strength and seeking His presence, either with you or in fellowship with others. That's a thanksgiving that God will take that as an expression of gratitude. And then in verse 5, remember the wondrous works that He has done. So maybe just take some time to remember and reflect on what God has done in your life. And there's various ways to do that. I sometimes like to sit and just walk back through my memories. Sometimes I use yearbooks and journals and old letters. But just to remember the people that God has placed in my life, or the significant events, and how God's hand has been in those things. It's just important to remember and reflect on the wondrous works, the things that have happened in your life that God did, and that only God could do. And I think we can all look back on some things and point our finger and say, you know, that was a God moment. That was something that couldn't have happened except God made it happen. And we need to give thanks for those things. Well, I hope you have a good Thanksgiving if you're celebrating Thanksgiving as we are in Canada right now. I know if you're in the United States, you'll be celebrating Thanksgiving in November, and I know there are some different traditions around the world around Thanksgiving, and that's fine. I hope you enjoy that Thanksgiving celebration. But I wanted you today, and maybe throughout this week, when you're in the Scriptures, and Psalm 105 is a really great psalm, the whole psalm to study, but just dwell on the idea of giving thanks to God and how you can do that well. And I hope that you're very blessed. And remember that in 21, He's still the one.